What is going on YouTube? Today I'm going to show you guys how to craft just really insanely powerful bows that are just quite cheap. I have sold quite a few already, 7, 8, 9, 10 div. I also sold a couple, one for 35, one for 30 div. So they're quite profitable to craft, and they're also just incredibly easy and deterministic to do. Again, the only hard part is getting the base for these bows. Let me pull over my handy dandy trade filters here. All we're looking for is like high percentage Phys bows on the correct base. So this is Obliterator bow. This is the best base for PF, Fubgoon, poison builds. So we are going to buy the bases for those. Oh, we just sold one live. That's very nice. All we do now, we buy the base. These bases are incredibly expensive. Like 4 div for a base is expensive, but as you just saw, we're selling the end result for like 16 div, and it only costs us like 4 div to craft it. Now, one thing that's really important is I am paying 4 div for tier 2, almost max roll Phys. If you lower your filter to like 140 Phys, right, you can buy a base for like 3 or 2 div if you put an active trade filter. If you lower it down to like 120 Phys, right, it's like 1 div. The base becomes very, very cheap. Just keep that in mind. You can lower the value of the base, and then you could, as a result, lower the price of how much it's going to cost pretty significantly. I would probably say like at minimum, you're going to want to do like 140, just because there are a couple elements of this craft that are kind of expensive that I'll be getting into very, very shortly. It's just kind of a situation where if you're going to spend 2 div on the craft, you want to make sure you have a high percentage Phys roll here in order to kind of make it worth it. So for this expensive version here, it is very, very simple. This is all 100% deterministic. First things first, you need to make sure that you have a prefix and a suffix. Now, most of the time they're going to sell the bow with the suffix already attached. If they don't, what you're going to want to do is use a perfect augment on them. Second thing, if you don't want to pay for a bow base like this, you could just craft it yourself. It's actually really easy to do. So I will link my filter into the description below if you want to use it. But essentially how you get these bases is you have to make sure you pick up white Obliterator bow bases. This is the same as last league, so if you're familiar with this, you can just move on to the next step. But if you're not, the best way to get these OP bases is by picking up white bows, and my filter has pretty much all the premium bases, whether it's a talisman, crossbow, normal bow. I have the premium bases highlighted, and it makes it like a sound when it drops. And what you do is you just pick these up, you hit it with a perfect trans. Most of the time, the perfect trans is going to hit the suffix because those have the highest percentage likelihood rolls. And then after that, you're going to want to hit it with a perfect aug. We hit tier 2 lightning. This could have been tier 2 Phys, whatever, right? But that is how you get these really good bases. If you want to farm your own, I highly recommend that you put these white base bows into your filter. It's just super profitable to do so. As you see, getting like tier 3 Phys on a Obliterator bow is like 3 div. And getting tier 2 Phys on an Obliterator bow is like 4 or 5 div. So it's incredibly valuable for you to be searching for these bows yourself. That's for if you want to craft it yourself, if you want to, self-find your bases. But if you don't mind buying a base for like 3 or 4 div, which I think it's 100% worth it to do, this is how you proceed. So either way, you have the base now. It has a prefix and a suffix. It doesn't matter if you have a shitty suffix, but if you have a really good suffix, it's very, very nice to have, okay? So what we're going to do is this. All we have to do now is grab one of these handy dandy greater essences of abrasion, okay? And then just slam it. So what this does is it essentially guarantees us tier 3 flat Phys. And if you don't know, flat Phys is incredibly low roll of damage, right? For example, this is tier 2 lightning damage, and it gives us 3 to pretty much 200, which is an average hit of 100 lightning damage. Tier 3 Phys only gives us 20 to 40, right? That's like on average 30 per hit. However, the OP thing about flat Phys is that it can synergize with percentage Phys, because this flat Phys is now being boosted by 160% of the physical damage. So then the flat Phys roll ends up becoming one of the best rolls for an Obliterator bow. On top of that, if you're playing Poison Pathfinder, you convert Phys to poison damage. So having Phys is incredibly valuable here. So we have 2 of the best prefixes on our bow, albeit they're not the highest rolls, but tier 2, tier 3 is still very good. What do we do now? So we have the shitter suffix. What we're going to want to do now is convert this shitter suffix into a good suffix. We do this by using an omen of dextral crystallization, and then we use a perfect essence of abrasion. Now, if you are not playing Poison Pathfinder and you're playing, for example, Lightning Arrow, then instead of using a perfect essence of abrasion, you're going to want to use a perfect essence of like lightning or something like that. Perfect essence of electricity. So this, instead of getting Phys gain, you're getting electricity gain. And if for some reason you want fire or cold damage, you just do the corresponding perfect essences of fire or cold, whatever. In this case, we want Phys gain. So what we're going to do is use this omen of dextral crystallization, which means that when this perfect essence targets this bow, it guarantees uses a suffix. So in case you don't know, perfect essences, they work kind of like chaos orbs. They remove one stat and then they add another stat. So using this dextral crystallization, we are going to guarantee remove the shitter suffix that we don't care about, and we're going to convert it into gain as Phys. This is incredibly broken because now we have 3 pretty much BiS stats on our bow. Boom. Gain as extra Phys, insanely valuable. Flat Phys, insanely valuable. Increased percentage Phys, insanely valuable. Now, I'm not sure about the actual calculations, but I believe Ru2 last league did the math on these bows, at least for crossbows, I think he did it. And gain as extra is generally comparable to like tier 1 flats. I think it's a little bit worse, but if you think about it like this, you're guaranteed to deterministically get this. It is incredibly good value. So we pretty much have 3 BiS rolls on our prefixes for bows, and getting BiS rolls for prefixes on weapons is incredibly difficult to do so. This is incredibly nice and 100% deterministic, as I just showed you. This happens 10 out of 10 times that you do this. So all we need now are our suffixes. Now, what I recommend that you do is you get a greater omen of exaltation, and then a random greater exalt. These are like 6C each or something like that. And we just slam here. We can undo that. And all we need to do here is slam. Now, we use a greater exalt because if we hit crit chance, we're in the money. Okay, that is beautiful. If we don't hit crit chance, it doesn't matter. Okay, that is just to kind of, if we get lucky, hit the jackpot, then these bows are worth like 35 div. As you just saw, or as I showed earlier, I sold multiple bows for 30 div. That is because I luck or dogged high roll crit chance here. And if you do that, awesome. You make like a ton of money, or you have an insane bow. If you don't, it does not matter. The rest of this craft is still 100% deterministic. We want to take an Omen of Liege. This guarantees an Amumu modifier. Use a preserved jawbone. It does not need to be the better one. It can be the shitter preserved jawbone. This, with the Omen of Liege, is going to guarantee us attack speed on our bow, which I will show you guys later. So we just throw this on, and because we have an open suffix, it has to be a suffix here. So there we go. And then now we're going to do what we call essence cycling. So we have perfect essence of haste, and then we have perfect essence of battle. So we use a perfect essence of haste here, and because our suffixes are filled and our prefixes are filled, this will guarantee target a suffix because the haste mod, which is onslaught on kill, is a suffix. So we can only remove a suffix here. So boom, we have a suffix that we really want, and we have this desecrated mod. And then we're going to do the same thing with the essence of battle. It's a 1 in 3 to knock off the life. We want to keep on cycling all these things until we hit all 3 perfect mods on our suffixes. So there you see, we knocked off the haste with the attack. That sucks, but it's going to happen. And then boom, we knocked off the attack with the haste. Okay, and then you cycle this until you hit all 3 suffixes that you want. Or if you feel like this is too expensive, you can just stop on like +3 attack, or onslaught. I think you probably want +3 attack over onslaught, and you can get guaranteed attack speed on the desecration, and as I'll show you in a second. But I want to show you how you do the perfect one. And boom, we have the perfect one. Now, one thing to consider is that if you ever knock off the desecration here, all you need to do in order to re-add it is you use an Omen of Dextral Necromancy. And this makes it so the next time you draw a bone, remember, you have to keep on using the Omen of Lieges as well because we need the Amumu modifier. But if you ever knock off the desecration during the cycle, all you need to do is use Omen of Dextral Necromancy, Omen of Liege, and then the jawbone will guarantee the suffix, and you keep doing that until you get 3 out of 3 suffixes that you want. Cool. So here you have the option now to use an Omen of Echo. These are 37 each. You don't need to. It's just you are guaranteed attack speed here. You get 1 more roll on a high roll of attack speed. Our prefixes are like very, very well rolled. Maybe not the gain, but pretty much this bow is really well rolled. We will not be divving it. So we were actually going to spend the extra like 1/4 of a div to use the Omen of Echo to guarantee us a high attack speed roll, just because, attack speed is incredibly valuable on bows. It's like a more multiplier. So it just multiplies all these other stats that we have on the bow right now. So let's just do it. And as you see, we are guaranteed attack speed. 15 attack speed, companion attack speed. This is an Amumu modifier. The only mods we can actually receive on the suffixes that have Amumu tags on them are Pierce, attack speed with the companion mod, and then reservation of energy seals. Pierce, reservation, attack speed. We're guaranteed it. And the only reason we'd use an Echo here is say we rolled the min roll, which is 12% or like 13%, then we could roll it again and see if we can get a better roll. 15% is like literally dead in the middle. So we could gamble one more time, or we could just send it here. I think sending it here is okay. So let's just take it. We don't need to get the perfect rolls or anything like that. So the end result is a bow that looks like this. Tier 2 percentage Phys, Tier 3 flat Phys, gain is extra Phys damage on our prefixes. Then we have 15% attack speed, onslaught on kill, and then +3 attacks. All of this is done 100% deterministically. And as you can see here, this attack speed roll is equivalent to Tier 2. Okay, we pretty much get guaranteed tier 2 attack speed, and if we high roll it, we pretty much get tier 1 attack speed. All of this is like pretty much BiS stats on a bow. It's like fucking insane. No homogs are necessary. Fortunately for us, the homog being dead does not matter. All 6 of these stats are 100% guaranteed to get on our bow. So what we're gonna do now, as you need to do for every bow, is add runes to it. Now you can add whatever runes you want, but I highly recommend that you add greater iron runes because it affects the trade filter. Here we go. We have a 550 DPS obliterator bow with onslaught plus 3 attacks, and then we also have gain. Regardless of like, you know, the profitability of this is just how you craft the bow. If you're going to use it for yourself, that's great. If you want to profit craft it, that's also great. The more profit crafters that do this, the lower the cost of the bow and the easier it is for you to buy the end result. However, one thing to consider is, I don't know why I say this still because I say it every video, but no one listens. This shit, as soon as the recipe is released, the cost of the materials are going to skyrocket, right? They're going to go straight up. The price that you can actually sell the end result for, this 14 div is going to go way down because way more people are going to be buying the bases and way more people are going to be selling the end results. Also the mats, like these Dextral crystallizations, these are like a div each right now, right? But after this video, maybe they're like a div and a half. Maybe a lot of the other mats go up as well. My point is that please, like you have to do a little bit of due diligence here. Like make sure you check all of the price of the mats, make sure you check the price of the bows, everything like that, all the costs, and then see if the end result is still the same, and then make a determination of whether or not it's still worth it to craft this yourself. But I am just trying to share the information with you guys. If you're going to buy one of these, you should definitely know how to craft it yourself if it's a lot cheaper to do. Just be aware though that the prices for all the materials, the end results will change drastically after the video is released. Anyways, that's all there really is to it. It's super straightforward, 100% deterministic, and that's all you really have to do. Best of luck, boys. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys again in the next one. Bye.